Hi everybody, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology. Today we're going to talk about the Pisces full moon, which is today. So this is being uploaded today. And in the United States, it's happening at September 17th. And this is at 7:34. The moon will peak at that time. And this is PM on the West Coast, right? This is a partial lunar eclipse. So part of the moon will be, hidden. And they call this the corn moon as well. And we are in Virgo season. So Virgo is about the harvest. So that makes a lot of sense. And also the sun is closest to, it's a super moon. So the sun is closest to the earth at this time. So let's talk about this Pisces full moon. And we see Pisces down here. Where is Pisces, the Pisces full moon? It is right here. And so here is Pisces here. And we have Aries, and we have, the subsequent signs that are following it. So this Pisces full moon is most personal to Pisces, but it is also happening for everybody else because Pisces is about release and endings and sacrifice. It's about dissolving because Pisces is water. And so it is in its own sign, right? It's a Pisces full moon, and the 12th house or Pisces is about that to begin with. So this is very clear here that we are all being asked to let something go in order to move forward. And when we see Pisces here, we see Aries. So after Pisces, we can move forward into Aries. We can let something go, leave the 12th house, and step into the first house. This is, the natural first house. It doesn't mean that your first house is really Aries. But let's get into this now. And we're going to talk about the collective first. And so, yeah. And so we see with the full moon here, we see the sun is always opposing the full moon. So the sun is in Virgo. And this is something, when we have an opposition, it's a little bit of an argument. That could be maybe sometimes, it's a little bit of tension there, right? But with the opposing kind of energies here, we're supposed to try to merge them to make the best situation, right? So we see Pisces here. The opposite sign is Virgo, and here is the sun. So the sun is in the sign of Virgo, which is about practicality. It's about your daily life and basically kind of how to make it better. Because it is important to Virgos, their daily life, their lifestyle, they're practical, their health is important, their work is important. It is the 6th house of work and health, right? And so we see that opposing here. So whatever's being left behind in Pisces with the Pisces full moon is kind of has to do in some way with making your life better, your daily life better. Or it may have to do with your health. It may have to do with your work as well. So let's continue here. And with this full moon as well, we see the 25 degrees. Anybody with 25 degrees in Virgo or 22 degrees in Pisces will be feeling this, right? Also, anybody with 25 degrees in Gemini. Gemini is here. And 25 degrees in Gemini or Sagittarius should be feeling this in some part of their life, because these are the other major oppositions between the signs. And that is what the full moon means. The full moon in its configuration, in its astrological configuration, is called an opposition. So anybody also with 25 degrees of Aries or Libra will also be feeling that. And that is the opposition or the tugging of the north and the south node. Now, regarding the moon is conjunct here. Here is the moon. It is conjunct. It's showing here the north node at 6 degrees. Now, tomorrow, for sure, this will be a conjunction. It will. I talk a little bit later about that. But this is about kind of releasing something in order to achieve to evolve, because here is the north node, and the north node is about your evolution, your fate, and your destiny, and what we are striving to have or to move forward. The moon is moving away. It is conjunct with Saturn, so there are lessons that have been learned, right? Because of Saturn. Saturn is the stern teacher, right? It is definitely about achievement, but it is the stern teacher. It is also the father. The Saturn represents, our Capricorn. Same thing. Really represents many. This is the ruling planet for Capricorn, so represents a lot. So here we have Neptune as well, and Neptune is the planetary ruler for Pisces. So we're going to talk about Pisces itself, right, when we get to the horoscopes, but Neptune is the natural ruler for Pisces, so the modern ruler. So we say here that there is a lot of support for the Pisces full moon. And a lot of people could be feeling very emotional today, kind of feeling maybe triggered that they could, right? And so let's see what else we have going on here. Yeah, and so when we see this Neptune here, Neptune is also confirming that this something needs to end because it represents the 12th house, especially, in Pisces for sure, right? And so Neptune has moved back. It has moved back a degree. It was at 29 degrees, which is really about letting something go as well. Yes, it is. Neptune is a very slow planet, and it will be in Pisces for some time here. But it has moved back a degree. It's retrograde, so it is giving anybody here. We have a lot of planets that are retrograde right now. But Saturn is also retrograde here. But what I'm saying here is that we are giving a chance now to kind of reevaluate whenever a planet is in retrograde, it's more of a slowing energy of that. So this can give us time to really kind of feel and understand what really needs to be left behind here, what needs to be sacrificed. And when I think of Pisces, what needs to be transcended and which is overcome, right? All right. And so the dissolving of this energy of Pisces will bring endings, as I have been saying. And this could have been building up for some time because Pisces dissolves rather naturally. It's water, and it dissolves rather slowly. Yeah, Pisces is a slower energy. I would definitely say it is. Pisces wants to take its time to feel, to understand, and to create. Wherever you feel this in your chart, there may have been a slow building up of something that is dissolving or that should be released, definitely. So we have Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. And where is Jupiter right now? Jupiter is in Gemini, and we see Gemini here, and here is Jupiter right here. So Jupiter will be in Gemini until next May, when the new Gemini season starts. Jupiter stays in each sign for 1 year. So we see Jupiter here, and this transit here is provoking us to decide to move forward or to accept something for change or improvement, right? Jupiter is about expansion and kind of an excitement to, make things big and dynamic. And we see it here in Jupiter, not in Gemini here. And Gemini is the mind. Gemini and Jupiter are both about learning. So when we see this placement here where we have Jupiter transiting Gemini, we see here that we're being asked to learn something. We're being asked to kind of wise up in a way, or learn, understand, possibly study. This can be about studying yourself. That is very important, especially if your first house is Jupiter, right? This can be, I need to study myself. I need to understand here possibly why, and Jupiter can talk about being impulsive. So, we can talk about that at another time. But this is definitely about learning, right? It is. And Jupiter is telling us to move forward because it is about change. It is about movement and enthusiasm, and to remain enthusiastic with our plans, our goals, and our willpower, because this is what Gemini is representing here, and to avoid succumbing or being overly emotional with the moon's square. So here we have the moon right here. Here is the square coming from the moon here, and the square is causing tension with our plans and our goals, because the moon over here is saying let something go in order to move forward with those plans and those goals. Yes. And so the day after the eclipse, which is, it can be tomorrow for some, but here in the United States, we're going to be seeing the Pisces full moon for a couple days. So the moon will move into Aries, giving the green light for new things, new opportunities, and courage. And this is a very spiritual eclipse, as lunar cycles are by nature, but more so in Pisces, right? Pisces is, the water signs are definitely about spiritual awakening, spiritual power, spiritual beliefs, and Pisces is highly, right? Pisces is definitely, Pisces can be the high priestess, as Scorpio as well in the tarot, and this is how I like to look at it. So we know here that Mercury is moving forward again. It's going to, it's out of shadow and it is direct. So any misunderstandings, communications that happened maybe last month, or maybe at the beginning of November, because September, because we have because that shadow did not lift until September the 11th. Okay, so Pluto also moves back into Capricorn. It moves back on September the 2nd, where it will be at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Let's have a look at Pluto. Here it is at 29 degrees. It is also retrograde. So remember, the 29th degree, although they are showing it kind of in the middle here, this particular software I'm using, they're showing Pluto very interesting in the middle here. But it is really, these are equal houses, so I'm not sure if that is why that is happening. But it's showing the degree, right? So here is Pluto, 29 degrees of Capricorn. It was in Aquarius. It's retrograde. The 29th degree always says that we need to move forward. Something needs to end. This is a very powerful degree in itself. Pluto is about transformation. We can call it endings as well. It's new beginnings. It's about life and death and rebirth and transformation. So we see it here, and with this Pluto moving back, this is a critical point, right? Describing a time potentially to build something, because it is in Capricorn, and Capricorn wants to achieve, right? Capricorn rules the 10th house of career and social status. Yes, it does. So the critical degree, also known as that anaretic degree, also says something needs to be released, right, and transformed. This can be a powerful time to achieve in the areas of your life that offer the most potential. Pluto is going to stay in Capricorn, how long? Until November 20th of this year, and this brings empowerment. Pluto is about power. It is very interesting here. And let's see what else we have. And we have anybody with 29 degrees of Cancer is going to feel this very emotionally as well. Cancerians may be feeling some slight chaos or stress. Also, anyone with 29 degrees of Aries or Libra. Yes, and that's interesting because my son is a Cancer and he might be feeling emotional. And he called me today, right? And we had kind of an emotional discussion a couple of days ago. So maybe I'll wait until, a couple of days to talk to him. I might do that, right? So then we have a grand trine with Uranus trining Pluto and the Sun trining Uranus. So here is Uranus over here, right here, right? The little kind of electrical antenna. And it is in Taurus. And so this is about change, earthly changes, changes in your belief systems. This can be about a lot, changes in the food. It can be about earthly changes like earthquakes. And we've seen several earthquakes here in the United States. We have. I feel like Japan had one as well. But here, Uranus is about innovation and rebellion, but it is also about disruption. Yeah. And so but we see that it's also about spiritual growth and innovation. It is invention. And so this grand trine we have with Uranus and Pluto, and the Sun will trine Uranus as well. We're going to be feeling this around the 23rd and the 24th, which is coming up. Uranus is in Taurus, as I said, and this will be about change in your beliefs. I did mention that, and change on a material level. So that's quite interesting, right? This is about money. Taurus can be about money, right? So maybe there is a change, in your finances. It could be. But Uranus trining Pluto is transformation in the best way possible. So Pluto is offering its power to Capricorn. I was saying that. And Capricorn defines achievement and career. This is all happening between the earth signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So there is a support system with this. When we see the trines, we see the support system basically between the signs of the same element. So next year we will be seeing the trines with the air signs and the fire signs. And this year it is the water and the earth signs that are trining one another, right? And so the grand trine is going to bring ease, and for the individual, your natural and innate qualities will be supporting you, depending on your own natal chart, of course, right? Because I don't have your time of birth, and these houses are, this is general, it is. If you would like your own chart, you can certainly get one. And it is your roadmap to your true potential. And so Taurus is the second house of money in the natural chart, and here it is. Virgo is your practical daily life regarding your health and your work, and the sun is in Virgo, and Virgo wants to be useful. So here we have Virgo again with the sun in Virgo, and this is more support with your daily life, with your practical life, with your work and your health, and this right can be about your job. So there is a lot of support here about these matters that I'm speaking, right? And we have with this Uranus, the sun is trining Uranus as well at the time, and we see it right here. And this is, definitely giving light to what can be innovated, what can change, what can grow, what can free you, definitely, right? And this can also talk about social networks and friendships and things like that. But Uranus is the inventor as well. It is the original one. The person who basically doesn't care, they're detached, representing Aquarius. They don't care what other people think. They kind of do their own thing. Although they're friends, and social networks are very important. It's very interesting. Aquarius is very interesting. So we see all these kind of energies supporting one another. Yeah, very interesting. Not very many squares here in this chart. No, they are mostly trines. There's some oppositions here, but oppositions are kind of to be dealt with, and they're less kind of threatening, or less maybe negative, less discordant, I should say. That's a better word. So let's continue here. And so Taurus is in the second house, right? And this is about money and resources and what sustains you in that aspect. And the sun will bring its power and leadership, similar to Pluto in Capricorn. Yeah, the sun is offering its leadership and its power to Virgo. This is like for your daily life, for your work, and for your health. And Virgo wants to make sure we have all the details. So here's the sun bringing clarity to any details or to any projects or anything that is important in your life, right? This Pisces full moon, the lunar eclipse, can really point out what is important in your life, right? There's other things here, but because this is what needs to be really let go in order to transcend. But if not transcendence, at least moving forward here into Aries, where Chiron is almost waiting to offer healing, and support. That is very interesting here. I feel like I might have mentioned that. So this trine is bringing intelligence, practicality, spirituality, and transformation. And so let's talk about the 12 signs, you guys. And for Aries, here is Aries right here. And for you, Aries, anything that you have been kind of dealing with, Chiron's been here for a while, but especially with this kind of full moon of Pisces, right, which creates endings and new beginnings, there's something you could really be improving or healing about yourself, maybe about the way you see things, or the way you go about your life. It can be kind of maybe a complex sometimes, we can all have them, trust me, but Maybe something's bothering you about yourself. Maybe it can't have to do with your self-esteem, because this is definitely about the self, Aries, right? It can be anything, right? And only you will know that. Something is improving for you here. So let's see here. And for you, Aries, there is something emotional or stressful regarding your support system. The full moon is happening in your 12th house of release, which rules endings and dissolving. So that's some part of your life you are definitely dissolving. But it is supposed to end because it sits in the 12th house as well. So that's, either that is doubly confirming that. This is supposed to happen too with the node of the fate, with the North Node joining forces with the IC. Here is the IC. That will move up here and join forces. That's interesting here. No, this is just supporting here, Aries, because this is going to be in your second house. So this is supporting whatever your beliefs are, or something that is most likely healing over here. This I see here in your second house. This is kind of supporting you here. This can be about your family, or possibly whatever is emotional for you, and whatever provides stability for you at the same time. Something is uncomfortable, causing tension, and you have an opportunity to embrace something better, Aries, with your ruling planet Mars favored by Vesta, which is about dedication and harmony. So here is, this is Mars, and it is sextiling Vesta right here, the day of the full moon, and this will last. This will last for a little while here, but this is favoring your kind of your harmony and your balance. Yeah, it is. And this has to do with your daily life, your lifestyle, and for some of you, because Vesta is in Virgo here, so that is about your daily life and or your lifestyle. And for some of you, a partnership that you're dissolving or letting go, or you are just looking at relationships in a different way that brings you a better state of inner harmony. That could be going on. Pluto's in your 10th house of career and social status. If you're someone who's retired, Pluto is defining your house of reputation, or maybe the legacy that you plan on leaving. Pluto will be there until November 20th, and this can be your time, Aries, to reinvent your career or take control of your money or your projects. This is going to be a good time to recoup whatever was overlooked or lost, perhaps, in those areas of your life. The sun in your 6th house right now, this will be definitely about the details, and you understanding what those details are, or the particulars, and for you throughout the season of Virgo, which is going to last until about September 22nd. Kind of coming up here, but Virgo, the 6th house, the sun will help you look at that. It definitely will. Very interesting there. And so we also see, and and I hope that was helpful. And now we're going to move on to Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. So the sun is in Virgo. The sun in Virgo has your 5th house highlighted, Taurus. So family and children may be very significant this month. The 5th house is about self-expression. Maybe you're seeing a new way of kind of maybe is just a new way of expressing yourself. Maybe you have different ideas, or your artwork is different. Things like that. Self-expression can be in many ways. Here it is, the sun in your 5th house. And so you might feel that getting out there, enjoying recreational activities is really important in the month of September. You might really feel that. That's what the 5th house is about. And Venus is in your 6th house. And Venus is about self-care. Where is Venus? Venus is showing up here. Now, Venus is in Libra, and that's really interesting because Libra rules Venus, or Venus rules Libra, right? The planetary ruler for Libra is Venus. And so here we see self-care, creativity, beauty, harmony, the good things in life. Yeah, definitely. So this here is in your 6th house, and your 6th house is about your health. So maybe you are really focusing on your health at this time, Taurus. You could definitely be. And so let's move on here. But you're able to see with full clarity what's important in your life with the sun with the sun there, and your daily schedule and how that affects you, right? Your schedule, your daily routine. You're very detail minded this month with the sun in Virgo, and your ruling planet Venus is in the sixth house. I mentioned this, ruled by Virgo, flavored by Libra. This is all about your health and beauty and your life overall, as I was saying. This can also be about love here, definitely. Venus is about love, and so is Libra is the house of relationships. So this can definitely be about your partnerships. You definitely could be happening for you there. Uh, yeah, very interesting there. Because this is also your ruling planet, and I didn't mention that, Taurus. Venus is your ruling planet. So here it is, very interesting for you, and that is, it's in your sixth house, as I have said. Yeah, it definitely is. So let's continue here. The Pisces partial eclipse happens in your 11th house. You could be letting go or dissolving a friendship or a social group you don't feel is very important at this time. And you could be letting go maybe of something that you thought you kind of wanted to maybe pursue, things that have to do with gains and hopes and wishes. You might be thinking that's not even my wish anymore, or I'm not interested in that anymore, because this can be about gains, right, or hopes and wishes. And Pluto moves into your ninth house of spiritual beliefs, your philosophy. Pluto in your ninth house can bring you a windfall. So here is Pluto. Your ninth house happens to be Capricorn. Very interesting. And yeah, you could be experiencing a lucky break in your career. A great job could present itself as well. Yeah, because we have Capricorn. It is in Capricorn. This is about career. So very cool, right? And Pluto is lending power here. It definitely is. So the grand trine with the Sun and Uranus, you're going to have full clarity regarding your own leadership for change, leading your own life, a type of progress or improvement. Uranus is in your first house of self, Taurus. And where is Uranus? It is right here. And this is definitely wanting to free yourself from something, wanting to feel freer about anything, maybe about your work, maybe about your beliefs, could be about your daily life, but you are definitely innovating or changing and freeing yourself on some level, because that is there in your first house of self. And so Uranus in your first house of self, there's a green light. There's a green light for you, so you are definitely able to see. Both the trines involve your first house of identity, the house of self. And here we have Taurus, Uranus trining Pluto over here. Yeah, and this is affecting your first house of self, and also the Sun trining Uranus is affecting your first house of self. Yeah, and so you may be releasing old beliefs, helping you dramatically with your evolution in this life, right? Your progress and your change. If you have creative ideas or a creative idea, it's going to be a good time to engage in that and follow your heart and do it. Yeah, so for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this eclipse is happening in your 10th house. This is about your work or your reputation, perhaps, with the work that you're known for. The 10th house is the house of achievement and also family and the past. And there may be an unexpected windfall for you, possibly. Something important, although fleeting, could take place. Mercury, your ruling planet, is in your 4th house of family and the past. So there's a lot of energy between your home and family and your career, perhaps, or your emotional support system, and your work or your social life. So let's have a look at that here for you, Gemini. The eclipse is happening. Here's the eclipse happening in your 10th house. Yes, and this is about career and status. And so you could definitely be letting go of something right here that has to do with maybe the reputation you wanted for yourself, possibly. You could be changing your goals, right? Definitely you could be doing that. And interesting how this is in your 10th house. and Saturn is in your 10th house. So this can definitely be about achievement, but you have to release something here. It's interesting too that if you are not willing to release something, you could, the universe with Saturn here, we could say that it will impose a restriction on you. That's very interesting. Yeah, it is, because Pisces is dead. It's here with Pisces and this full moon telling you to let something go. Yeah. And so let's see what else we have. Mercury is opposing Saturn the day after the eclipse. Mercury is your ruling planet, if I didn't mention that. That will last for a couple days. And you might feel torn between your heart and your head regarding something emotional or something you may see as dissolving. So for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, Cancer, this is emotional for you because you rule the moon. The moon is your planet, and it is in Pisces right now. All right, and so Cancer is emotional. All the water signs are emotional and creative, and typically nurturing and intuitive, right? But the moon is your planet, and so for a short time, you're going to feel emotional with the watery energy of both Pisces and your own sign. And the moon's going to move quickly into Aries, Cancer, and this will dissipate, right? And the moon will be in your 9th house of spirituality, philosophy, and expansion, and will move into your 10th house of career. So you're going to be going through some type of it looks like maybe some type of a spiritual awakening. Maybe your philosophy will change, but you're definitely, like everybody else, you're letting something go. And so let's look at Cancer here. And so where do we have Cancer over here? And the moon is, this is the 9th house, and it's going to move, as I said, into the 10th house. There could be something when the moon moves into the 10th house. There could be some type of vulnerability surrounding your career that you're going to really kind of like let go, or maybe learn from and heal or improve, definitely with Chiron in this 10th house of career. And so Uranus will be in your 11th house, and this is really good for you. Right, and this is where this trine is happening. So let's have a look at that for just a moment. There's going to be a conjunction too, a joining forces, if you will, Cancer, with the North Node. So this will be emotional. It will be something emotional for sure, because the moon will move over here, and it is fairly emotional for everybody, but more so for the water signs. Okay. So the Pluto-Uranus trine, which is on the 22nd and the 23rd, not looking at these dates exactly, but we see the Pluto here. We see Pluto, and we see it trining Uranus, right? So Uranus is actually trining Pluto, because this is a slower moving planet. So here, Pluto is going to be, let's see. Okay, so this is between your 7th house of partnerships and your 11th house. So you might have a wish that comes to pass for sure, or comes to fruition rather. A partnership could become powerful and lucrative for you, Cancer, because of these transits. And with Uranus, this can happen quickly and very surprisingly. And that's another thing I was not really mentioning here about Uranus. Uranus, yes, it's about change and freedom and, liberation and revolution at times, but it is about surprises. Yes, it can be about something that just happens overnight. Boom, right? And so you could have a goal or a plan, Cancer, that all of a sudden, you have that aha moment, how to make that morph into major success for you, or it could simply land on your lap as well, right? So for Leo, let's talk about Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And this eclipse is taking place in your 8th house of shared money, intimate relationships, secrets, and fear. Okay, interesting. All right. So let's look at that. So here, this is the 8th house right here for you, Leo. And so, interesting, it's happening in your 8th house. So this is Pisces. This is the 12th house in the natural chart. But for you, it happens in your 8th house. So this is equally powerfully psychic or intuitive. This can be about power, but fears. It definitely can, because that's Scorpio. Both Scorpio and Pisces can talk about fear. Yeah, they can. This is interesting. Scorpio, a little bit more about power, and we could say that Pisces a little bit more about healing and transcendence. But regardless, that would have to be a discussion in itself, because they're similar. They are similar energies. All the water signs are similar. So let's continue here, and let's see what else we have. All right, so this eclipse in your 8th house is in your 8th house of shared money, intimate relationships, secrets and fears, like I said. So this is the house of the hidden and the metaphysical, or the occult, right? Very spiritual. The sun and the moon are opposing each other, and the sun is also in your house of money and resources. So we have money, shared resources here. It could be money, and right here for you, Leo. And then the sun is also over here in this house of money as well. So here you are. Where is Leo? The 2nd house. Here you are. Sorry, the way I'm holding this. Here's Leo, and here's the 2nd house for you with the sun. So the sun is here, shining light and its warmth on your 2nd house of money. Yes, money and beliefs and resources, right? And you could be reinventing yourself, or you're creating a new life, possibly a daily routine. There's an easiness for you, Leo, with your work or your career. And with regard to relationships, there could be themes, important themes, or major themes, or maybe pressing themes possibly about money within relationships that are very kind of maybe important at this time, right? So, there's an easiness for you, Leo, with the work, or career. You are ruled by the sun. This is your planet. So the sun-Uranus trine is very powerful. And these are supporting your money houses, right? Here is Uranus. Where is Uranus at? It is here, and it is in Taurus, although we have it. This is in your 10th house, yes. Yeah, and so your 10th house is about career. So we can call that money as well, right? We can, because, you earn your money that way. On the 22nd, and this could be, this is supporting your money houses and your achievement or your status, Leo. On the 22nd, the sun will move, the sun moves into Leo, right? It does. That's very interesting, right? The sun will move into Leo, and it is here. Yeah. And so this is going to be a very powerful time for you when the sun is, when the sun is in your sign. This is always powerful, and this is why it's always a favorable time when it is your birthday season. So let's move forward to Virgo, and Virgo, sun, moon, and rising. The eclipse is taking place in your house of partnerships, the 7th house. So let's have a look at that. And where is Virgo here? So here is the eclipse here, and this is. Yeah, it's in your 7th house here. I just wanted to make sure, right? And so here is this, you're letting go of some type of a relationship, or how you see relationships, Virgo. Yeah, you're letting go of something here. You might have learned some serious lessons here about relationships with Saturn here. Saturn is, Saturn wants us to achieve, but if we're not doing the right thing, it will impose kind of karmic lessons. Yeah, that's how that works, right? So here's your 7th house, and interesting, you have the North Node in your 7th house. So you could have a fated partnership with somebody, a soulmate, right? Or you really could here. Interesting. And so let's see what else we have, because the North Node is there in your 7th house. And this week, it could also be emotional with you. There could be some drama taking place. The sun is in your sign at the time of the full moon, opposing the moon in Pisces. So, interesting. But you might be very clear about what you want at this time. Because when we see the sun over here, there's clarity, and when we see the moon over here, there's darkness. And it's in Pisces, so there's fog here, basically. And so the sun and the moon, it's a time to figure things out. It's really a time to kind of understand and merge the power of the light with really the emotions of the moon. And we could even say with psychic intuition. Yeah, this is very interesting here, the opposition with the full moon. And so the sun, yeah, and you could be really clear about what you want at this time, Virgo. However, it may be emotional. It could be the sun is in your first house of self. This is always a powerful time. I was talking about that, with Leo, but you could be letting go of a relationship as I started, right? Your belief or philosophy is giving you the green light in this area of your life, right? You could be doing something that's unconventional. The people in your life may not like what you're doing, Virgo. There's an energy of freedom and living life on your terms. So let's see where Uranus is sitting for you. I am curious here. Here you are, Virgo. Yeah, Uranus is in your ninth house of philosophy. Yeah, this is definitely, you're letting go. You're not seeing things like the way you are kind of, your attitude about life looks like it has changed. And it definitely could be surrounding relationships. Okay, and Uranus always talks about the unconventional. And here it is, right? It looks unconventional. It's a little electric and it's like an antenna here. We used to call these rabbit ears, back in the day when we had antennas that we would place on top of the TV, yeah, so we could watch a channel. Right, and this is kind of before cable came around, and everything was free though, right? Yeah, there weren't all these channels, but everything really was free. You just turn on the TV and you could watch free TV. You really could. But let's see what else we have here for you guys, Virgo. There's a profound change you're experiencing, Virgo. For some of you, it's your opinion or your beliefs. Yeah, as I said. And you might want to enjoy life more, have more fun, or get involved with creative projects or recreational activities. This is a favorable time for you. And the house of helping you with your decisions, plans, goals, and career. Let's look at Mercury, your ruling planet. And here is Mercury. It is in your sign. Look at that. So this is definitely supporting you with all your decisions, your thoughts, your plans, all this kind of stuff right here. This is really a good time for you, Virgo. I can completely tell, right? Yeah, it is. It's your birthday, as I said. And so this Mercury in your own sign is helping you with decisions, plans, goals, and career, all the things of the midheaven, which is your status, reputation, achievement, and legacy. So you go, Virgo. And so now we're going to talk about Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And this eclipse is in your sixth house of work, health, and daily routine. This is about your lifestyle, Libra. It really is your daily life. And the sun opposes the moon from the 12th house. All right, because the sun is in Virgo. Yeah, there's something here that goes away gradually or that is dissolving. You might get a new job at this time. Interesting. I talked to my sister today, and she's a Libra, and she has a new job. Venus, your ruling planet, is in your sign until the 22nd of September. Venus, yeah, your ruling sign is there. This is definitely supporting you, and so something good is happening for you this month, for sure. A blessing, personal or professional. The Sun and Uranus trine happens in your 12th and 8th houses. So here is the Sun in Virgo in your 12th house. That you're seeing something right here that you need to release. That's interesting right there. And let's see what else we have. And so the Sun and Uranus is over here. Where's Uranus? In your 8th house, Libra. And Uranus in the 8th house is very spiritual and transformative. It also has to do with your beliefs. It's in Taurus. It's flavored by Taurus. And your money. Interesting, because your 8th house also represents money. Yeah, it represents money with partners, basically. Yeah. So you're experiencing some type of power, and there's an easiness to improve, or you feel very comfortable, Libra, as you are, or either on your own or in a relationship. These are both the psychic houses too. Yeah, very interesting, because we have the 12th house in Virgo for you, and the 8th house is here. These are both the psychic, intuitive houses. So maybe you're going through an awakening right now, or maybe you are just trusting your intuition a little bit more, right? Interesting about my sister, too, because we were talking about life and death. We were talking about somebody who's very sick, and we were talking about uh, life and death and transformation and reincarnation and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't think she was really kind of. Well, I didn't think she was kind of, but she's more into it now. And and maybe this is happening with this trine, right? It is. It's easier, and that's what this is saying. So your family and your home life may be happy, right? It could be really flowing around the time of the full moon, and you may be going about things differently with money in your relationship. There's an opportunity, Libra, to embrace or feel that you're less to embrace, or you feel less overwhelmed with taking care of others' needs, because Neptune is in your sixth house. Neptune is about caring and compassion. It can be about service, as is your sixth house ruled by Virgo. So you're less emotional about the demands of others. It does seem like that. So for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the eclipse takes place in your fifth house of leadership, parents, children, love, creativity, and recreational activities. The Sun moves into your 12th house of endings, dissolution, intuition, sex, and compassion. So, maybe you're very clear about what you need to kind of let go of with the Sun in the 12th house. What you need, what you feel like you need that you see that needs dissolving. Interesting. The 12th house does also rule sex and compassion. It does. And you're more powerful. Your thoughts and your goals are transforming. Yeah, they look like they are taking shape for sure. Or, your ideas or beliefs in relation to power and personal achievement, they've changed, Scorpio. Pluto moving back into your third house makes this more compelling, helping you increase your higher intelligence for the future and any transformation you are feeling or you would like for yourself. Yeah, Pluto is your ruling planet, and Pluto's relationship with Uranus, which is about the future, makes you smarter, and you're able to see into the future and where you may have been too emotional instead of intelligent or savvy. Your co-ruler Mars is in your ninth house of wisdom and expansion. And here, Scorpio, you're more in charge with regard to family matters or your core values or whatever your emotional support system may be. So let's talk about Sagittarius, and the full moon lunar eclipse is happening in your fourth house of family and what sustains you emotionally. So there's some type of letting go, Sagittarius, with regard to your emotional support system. You may feel that family or emotional support from others is important, but you may be feeling like, I need to kind of be my emotional support system. I am, right? And this is kind of about self-mastery, right? And so the full moon is conjunct Saturn, and here is Saturn right here next to the full moon. And so the teacher, remember, Saturn is the teacher of hard lessons. The moon is showing you what needs changing or letting go. And Saturn in Pisces, Saturn wants us to achieve, but not without the hard work. Saturn in Pisces comes in and says, hey, stop daydreaming and get serious. The moon in Pisces will draw attention to this. It will. There's a wake up for you, Sagittarius, and this is about what you need for your emotional support and what makes you feel grounded. There's some type of a restriction that you're letting go that has to do with with support of yourself, I believe. I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. And there is family or your emotional, whatever that emotional support system, it is somewhat involved, but this is about you like learning these restrictions or these hard lessons with Saturn here. This is about you learning that and really kind of taking control of your life. It does look like that. And so, and this is helping you to feel more grounded. Yeah, you're realizing what you need for your emotional support, and that may be you, as I said. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is in a tense position with the moon on the day of the full moon. Wow. The sun is in your 10th house of career and status. It's squaring Jupiter. These are all happening in your angular houses, which are the most important, honestly, involving home or emotional support system, relationships, and the work you do, even if you are retired. This is about the important life matters, these houses, right? These angular houses. So this pertains to your reputation and legacy or whatever you do if you are retired, whatever you whatever you do, even if you are maybe home and involved in clubs or something like that. So there's an opportunity, Sagittarius, to embrace healing or a betterment related to your self-expression or your ego. And this is what I mean. I feel like you are probably you could be coming to terms with your emotions or your family support, your partnerships, and your work. You could be coming to terms with it in a very kind of grounded way. You're looking at it very grounded instead of emotional. Yeah. And Jupiter is asking you to use your wisdom for expansion and growth. Jupiter is trining Venus in your 11th house of wishes, hopes and wishes and gains. You're able to use your innate abilities for your creative interests. It could be easier. It may be easier, or you are more aligned now to attract financial abundance and a partner if you're single. Look at that. Wow. So for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, this full moon is in your 3rd house of communication. So here is your 3rd house. Yes, it is. And here you are, Capricorn, over here. This can be about your siblings in your local environment, right? Neighborhood or your community. You're being asked to weigh something, Capricorn, or analyze something that may challenge your rational mind versus your wisdom or intuition. And this may be related to plans and goals. Your ruling planet Saturn is conjunct the moon. It's right here. And that is your planet. There's a reality check around these 3rd house matters. So that is what I'm saying about Saturn is about reality. It's not about emotions or being over emotional. It is about the practical and reality check. This is why Saturn wants us to achieve, but not without the hard work. So we see here in your 3rd house, let's see where you are. Yeah, Saturn is in your 3rd house. So this is a reality check about your goals and your plans. I feel like maybe you're not a very emotional sign, but maybe you could be feeling emotional in the time of the full moon. But I feel like this is more about pay attention to what is kind of concrete, and don't let your emotions bother you at all, right? Whatever that may be, other people around you, maybe relationships, because this really is about you kind of achieving your plans and your goals and your willpower. That's what that is about for you, Capricorn. And yeah, there's a reality check around these 3rd house matters that I just spoke about. You have support in your partnerships, Capricorn, and your work, because the midheaven is in a trine with Saturn. The midheaven is your career. It is in a trine with Saturn. So for me, where is your here is Saturn. And so your midheaven is your 10th house. I beg your pardon. And there's a trine going on. But here it is right here for you. Yeah, exactly right. Here it is. This is in your 10th house. So here is the midheaven. The midheaven represents the 10th house. So this is really powerful. And there is a trine there with Saturn there. Let me see. Let me have a look at this for a second here. Yeah, the trine with Saturn. So this trine with Saturn in your 10th house, Saturn also rules the 10th house. You rule the 10th house. The midheaven is the 10th house. So really interesting. This is telling you if you do the hard work, there's going to be a great achievement for you. That's what's going on right here with that trine. And so the sun will move into your 10th house after the 22nd of September, adding favorability or improving your work or your projects. And the sun's position with Uranus is supporting your self-expression. Very cool. Uranus is about I want to be original. I want to invent. I want to be a trendsetter. Yeah, like that. And so the sun's position with Uranus, that is supporting your self-expression. This is very cool. This is kind of like you saying, I don't really care what anybody thinks. And you could be reinventing yourself, knowing that this change will help you to be more abundant and resourceful. This could help you to earn more money, and the sun is showing you clearly, at least on the day of the full moon, how to do this. Yeah. Pluto, the planet of transformation, has moved back in your 1st house, offering major personal change, Capricorn, and rebirth. And let's see where the sun, yeah, the sun is in your 10th house. This is showing you right here, or it's going to move in, yeah, it's going to move into your house, into your 10th house when Libra season starts. So the sun is going to be showing you exactly how to achieve it is in whatever areas of your work that you want. Yeah, very cool. And so the sun is showing you clearly on the at least on the day of the full moon, how to do this. Pluto has moved back into your first house, offering up major personal change and rebirth. And I feel like I said that. You could have an aha moment, Capricorn, on the day of the full moon. And this is when I'm doing this. Yeah, right now. Uranus is in a favorable position with Pluto. We call this a trine. You could experience powerful change over the next year or so, at least until July of 2025, where you could see significant changes and improvement in your finances and material matters. So let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. The eclipse is happening in your second house of money. Okay, very interesting. Resources, excuse me, guys, and values. The sun is in your eighth house. This can be about money too. This may be asking you to see something related to shared resources, which can be with partners, it can be investments, it can even be about your work because, if you are getting a paycheck or, contracts you're being paid by somebody, this can still be considered shared resources. So there's something about money that is happening for you, Aquarius. This can be about your beliefs and your values around intimate relationships. You might be able to see this or understand this intuitively as the sun is in your psychic house. This can be about food too. Your attitude toward cuisine or your eating habits themselves may be changing, or maybe you feel like they need to. So the moon will be sextiling your ruling planet Uranus in Taurus. And here is the moon. Where's the moon? Sextiling Uranus right here in Taurus. This is very cool. These transits are affecting your sense of security, both emotionally and financially. This sextile is very favorable, as sextiles can offer opportunities. Yeah, they can. And this is an offering of letting something go that is not in your best interest in terms of your own stability. The Uranus sextile to Neptune around the 23rd of the month could catapult you into a spiritual awakening. And this energy can bring you revelations and spiritual growth where you are now doing things differently or going about your life in a whole new way. You may be feeling that you don't have to be so hard on yourself to achieve or earn so much money. Yeah. Neptune is a release for you in your second house of money and resources or values and beliefs. And that is where you are releasing with the full moon. The sun in the opposite sign of Virgo or dissolving, right? Or letting it end or letting go, right? For sure. The sun in the opposite sign of Virgo can show you that your daily life and the comfort and practicality, Aquarius, of that lifestyle is more important than a fat paycheck. It could be showing you that. This also has much to do with the sun trining Uranus. The sun is asking you to see something at the time of the full moon, and it's shedding light on what needs to change or be upgraded. It's offering you freedom and a feeling of being liberated at the same time. The sun in Scorpio, at the time, the sun in Scorpio, that doesn't know, I don't think so. That's an error because the sun is not, the sun is in Virgo at the time of the full moon, not Scorpio. That's a typo. It definitely is. Is bringing light to the darkness or fears that may have been hidden. So that's an interesting aspect, right? Yeah. And so let's have a look at that because Virgo, Aquarius, where are you, Aquarius? You are here. And so, yeah, this is in your eighth house. And that's why I was saying that the sun is in your eighth house ruled by the Scorpio or ruled by, right? But the sun could be showing you something, although it's in Virgo, right? The sun can be showing you something that was hidden inside of you that you didn't understand. You could be understanding that you were afraid of something or kind of, feeling kind of maybe very emotional about something, and you no longer want that, right? You definitely could be seeing that. We all have things that are hidden from us right? And that is about your natal chart can show you that, and so you can, move forward, really reach your true potential. Yeah, it's really interesting. People, when you do a chart and you have something like an inconjunct, right? It's something you're not aware of. Then you may be able to see, oh yeah, I thought that a little bit, but I didn't think about it too much. So your chart really helps you move forward and really empower yourself, right? So yeah, if you guys want to get your chart, definitely send me an email. I will have my email in the description box. So let's see here. Yeah, the sun in the 8th house at the time of the full moon brings light to the darkness or fears that it may have been hidden, maybe tucked away. Sometimes we definitely kind of sweep things under the carpet because we don't really want to look at it. The sun forces us to look at things as well. So the Uranus-Pluto trine takes place in your 4th and your 12th houses. There's an ease here for you to transform yourself and let go of something, Aquarius, that may have restricted your freedom, something you may not have understood, or something you feared with the 12th house there. Yeah, wow. And so, yeah. And so for Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, this is most personal and honestly most powerful for you, Pisces. So there's something you're supposed to let go about yourself, right? It's in the 1st house for you. And it could be a quality you don't like about yourself. It could be something that maybe you didn't really want to look at. Sometimes Pisces, especially in the 1st house, sometimes it can talk about, nebulous kind of a fogginess where there is a lack of clarity. That's what Pisces can talk about. So maybe you are really seeing that right now. You could be seeing that because this is in your 1st house, as I said, of self. But here is Capricorn. Capricorn or Saturn. Saturn is teaching you some type of lesson because it is conjunct here. It's teaching you, I believe, Pisces, that to look at things with more reality. That's what's going on here. And so you're letting go of something that maybe you were kind of looking at it in some type of way, like, oh, I don't want to look at things like that anymore. I want to be more realistic. It's definitely possible. Excuse me. And we have Neptune is here in your 1st house as well. And this is your ruling planet. And this is also telling you to let something go. This is telling you to transcend and have self-compassion. Definitely it is, because Pisces is very compassionate, especially in the higher self. Now, this is very intuitive as well. The moon and Neptune here, and the north node of fate is here. So the moon will eventually, conjoin the north node. This is for you. This is for your betterment. This is for your fate and destiny. But moving into your kind of true potential here, leaving something here that really has to do with self, right? And so here, you will leave this here. Very interesting. And maybe today, this is kind of bothering you, because I would say that for most Pisceans, today's a little bit of an emotional day, right? So we have the North Node's retrograde, and this Neptune is retrograde, as is Saturn. Really interesting. So when we have retrogrades, although the moon moves very fast, we still have these energies, these planets here, and then the lunar node as well, that will be retrograde. And this means, okay, take a little bit more time to think about this and process this, because the energy is slow, and we are always able to see things better when we're not running around kind of like with our head cut off like a chicken, because we have to go from one job to another, or class to work. And I'm not telling anybody not to move toward their goals. That's not what I'm saying here. But yeah, that is what happens. So let's see, that definitely can happen. And so let's see what else we have. And the moon will be sextiling your ruling planet Uranus. That is not your ruling planet. The moon will be sextiling your ruling planet. Will be sextiling Uranus over here. Yeah, we know that. That is not your ruling planet. Your ruling planet is Neptune. But these transits are affecting your sense of security, both emotionally and financially. Because here you are, Pisces, the first house of self. Uranus is in your third house of basically of communication, but this is about your plans and your goals. They really could be changing for you with Uranus here. You could possibly change overnight. This is also a very spiritual and kind of intuitive. This can be an awakening that you're going through once you are releasing something. Very interesting there. Yeah. And yeah, this is letting you go of something that is not in your best interest in terms of your stability. Yeah, it definitely is. And the Uranus sextile to Neptune around the 23rd, because here is Uranus too. It sits in Taurus. Taurus is about money and stability. Yeah, so this is also about that. This is about your values as well. There's a lot of change here for you. And once you let whatever you need to let go of here, Pisces, you're moving toward Chiron, and this is in Aries, the next sign. Once you sacrifice or dissolve something, you're moving toward healing here as well. Chiron is almost standing in the way, going, hey, I'm not going to let you go by without offering some healing and some wisdom, because Chiron is also about reflection. Yes, it is, but it is about healing or improving. Yeah, interesting. That is also retrograde. Yeah, so this is, for me, the way I see retrograde is allowing more time because of the slow energy in order to really understand what's happening, right, or what needs to be done. And so Pisces, let's see what else we have for you guys. And the Uranus sextile. Let's move forward here. Let's move forward here because I'm getting kind of yeah. Let's look at this here, and let's. Yeah, so this is going to be the most personal for you, Pisces. And so looking closely at it, though, this is about yourself, as I said. This could be about your taste, your physical body, whatever you are letting go of. Your taste could be changing, maybe how you see things, and how you show yourself to the world with the full moon happening in your first house. And it's an eclipse, too. Yes, and so eclipses can definitely be about like world events. Famous people are born around eclipses, and people die. World events take place around the time of eclipses. Yeah, okay, but this is why this is so personal for you. So the full moon is already about endings and new beginnings, astrologically speaking, and we have the full moon in your 12th house of endings. So this is, further describing, reiterating the need to let something go and to rise up and achieve a transcendence in some way. With this energy, there will be an overcoming. There definitely will be, and it may be more so for some, right? It could be super spiritual, it may be, right? And so, but we need to be careful, Pisces, to not to sacrifice yourself. Instead, release anything that is kind of holding you back, or something that was maybe putting you in fear, or something that has to do with personal fears, something like that. This simply could have been robbing you of your freedom and your joy. And so Neptune, your ruling planet, is right here to support you. Yeah, it's very beautiful. And Neptune itself is asking you to release what no longer serves you in this evolution and in this lifetime, in this journey. So this can be about your past too. The 12th house is about the past. Letting go is about the past, right? Definitely, because you are releasing the past. But and so the emotional moon will be conjoining the North Node. So this is giving support to this ending or whatever you want to kind of let go of. Yeah, and this is all very beautiful. This Pisces full moon. Thank you, Pisces, for just for existing on this zodiac wheel, because this is so very beautiful. Where we see letting go here, we see the North Node. This is our fate and destiny, and where we are striving to go. And then Chiron is at the end of the corner over here, saying, "Hey, you're not going to get past me, without. I'm a healer, basically. I'm here to help you heal, and then and move forward in your life." So, yeah. And so let's see what else we have. Yeah, Chiron's going to bring some type of healing or improvement. That may have to do with your beliefs or your ideals, because that sits in your second house. It does. The South Node And it could have to do with your money or how you earn your money or how you see your own stability, financial. And the South Node is always opposing the North Node because we talked a little bit about that North Node. We did. And so, it's something we're always moving away from, the South Node, or we should move away from it. And that is in your eighth house of intimate relationships and fears. So there's something going on there that you are moving away from as well, right? Neptune, your ruling planet, is sextiling Uranus or Uranus. I know I go back and forth here in your third house of plans and goals. I feel like I might have spoke about that in the beginning, but this is about personal change and spiritual growth with Uranus and Neptune kind of joining forces there, right? And Pluto is in your 11th house of gains, hopes, and wishes and social networks. Your ideas of social groups, friendships may be changing, and the power to transform yourself and to free yourself is happening. All right, and that'll be it for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video today, and leave any comments down below. Thanks so much for joining me, for sure. If you would like your own natal chart, which is the most fascinating thing you can read about, yes, it's not the news or really even, anything. That is the most fascinating thing yourself, right? You can send me an email, and I will put my email, I'll link it down below. And I might have my calendar up, and you can click on that and click on the natal chart. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Yeah, and good luck. And we are moving definitely into the fall. We're moving into Libra season very soon. And yeah, it's definitely a lot colder today. Yeah. Thanks so much, you guys.